All right, what is up, everyone? This is your girl, Miss Sophia the Diva, and I am coming to you live because yesterday I just didn't have the energy. I was freaking tired. I ate some pot roast and went to sleep. Okay, that's what I did yesterday because usually what I try to do is do the most recent episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta, the night of. That's just something I started, but that ain't work out because my behind was sleep. So anyway, I did watch the most recent episode. So what we're going to do is tonight, to all my people on Periscope, YouTube, especially YouTube, if this is your first time watching Miss Sophia the Diva, or if it is not and you haven't subscribed, what is wrong with you, girl, boyfriend? You need to hit the subscribe button and subscribe to the Diva, okay? I'm still working on some things. Friday Night Live just hasn't happened because I'm out on Fridays these days for some reason. But either way, wait a minute. Let me hit that do not disturb because people do like to call Diva, and I'm just sitting there looking like, okay, what's up? So anyways, y'all, what did y'all think about the last two episodes of Real Housewives of Atlanta? We're going to start with season 12, episode 3, The Float Goes On. Now, The Float Goes On was supposed to show us this big confrontation between Cynthia and Nene. What a letdown, because they cut it off right then and there. Bradley, no, I just got started, and no, I did not watch the American Music Awards. I'm kind of over that stuff. I just watched Soul Train because, well, I'm rooting for everyone black. But either way, no, I did not watch the Emmys. I'm not going to talk about that. I will briefly talk about Ari Lennox breakdown at the end of this. I can understand, but honey, you coming off as a sore loser. So The Float Goes On. There wasn't a lot to this Real Housewives of Atlanta episode, which is kind of probably why I didn't want to cover it anyways. But when we open up that episode, Eva is looking for a home. Now, as y'all know, Eva the Diva, honey, always has to be ducking and dodging. She need to be in WICSAC because apparently witness protection might be the best thing for her and her family because Kevin McCall is insane in the membrane. And that's not just street terms, honey. He is clinically bipolar disorder, whether he wants to accept it or not. Although during this episode, an article did get published where it said that Kevin finally concedes to the fact that he needs help. And he does, because for lack of a better term, he's batshit crazy and he needs to be medicated. And you may not like how the drugs initially make you feel, Kevin, but keep going to your doctor until they can get them calibrated to meet your needs. Okay? That's how things work. Same thing, ladies, with birth control. Some of y'all be up here complaining about it make you throw up and sick, but then you got 10 kids later and you still like birth control make me sick. Okay? But either way, I think she should get into a gated community with a security guard at the gate. That might help, but who knows? This Negro might jump the wall. We don't know. But either way, I think it was like a 5-bedroom house, and I forgot the quote price. It was about $800,000. I don't know what part of Atlanta it was in. I couldn't tell. But I thought it, that's pretty good considering that the family is expanding. There are now 3 children. So I think that's great. But Cynthia had to be a little shady. I don't think she meant any harm because honestly, Cynthia is kind of innocuous to a lot of these things that go on. But for some reason, people want to, try to make her out to be a villain. Now, there was one season when Cynthia showed her ass and I did not like her. I don't remember what season that was, but I think maybe that was the season when Nene was absent. But Cynthia asked Eva, are you sure you can afford this? Next up, we see Portia and Tanya getting together. It's Tanya time. I love Tanya. She is such a positive force, and it's so good to see her. I hope we get to see more of her, but I know we will because when they go to Carnival, that's going to be chaos, disorder, and carnage because Hurricane Nene will be on deck. But she and Portia are talking about how her and her significant other, Paul, and Portia's significant other, Dennis, have been hanging out, and that after attending counseling, she's deeply concerned because he says I wasn't emotionally available. And I'm just like, girl, you weren't emotionally available because we saw. Now, everybody can try to sugarcoat it. I have never sugarcoated it. As a matter of fact, I didn't even finish watching the Portia's Having a Baby special because I was so irritated with the lack of maturity that Portia displayed. I'm like, when two come together, two become one. Now, y'all did this shit all ass backwards. If you a traditionalist, you should have first of all, you should have dated and courted instead of going to road dogging it, making a baby, and then getting engaged. That's probably what should have happened. But she was very mean to Dennis. So I'm not saying what Dennis did is right. And then she's showing all these pictures of all the different things that they did. Let me tell you, pictures are worth 1,000 words. Pictures also hide a lot of things. People can look picture perfect, let's be real, on social media. And then y'all notice how some people have all these smiling pictures coupled up. And then all of a sudden one day they just kind of disappear, like the guy disappears or the husband disappears. Hey, pictures fake a lot of shit, okay? I mean, isn't that what Hollywood does for us? Isn't that what a lot of pictures do? You know, pretend we're selling this Coke and you're so happy to be drinking Coke. So there you go. Kenya trying to figure out what to do for the baby's birthday. I'm like, you already kind of gave her a first birthday because you gave her a coming out party. I was like, maybe a sip and see when she was first born and had her first round of vaccines, but I don't get it. That was crazy. Oh, Bradley said he'll watch. Thank you, Bradley, for watching and listening with me for Real Housewives of Atlanta. Kenya and Mark. That's just, people keep talking about how painful it is to watch. I think honestly, between both Portia and Kenya, these two were so desperate to have children and husbands until it was a fool's rush in type of situation. And we'll get more into that. But the manner in which Mark was speaking to Kenya is the manner in which a man is fed up and has simply had enough. It was cringeworthy, and it was so shockingly surprised with all the shit talking and slanging of shade and mud that Kenya does, that she allows her so-called husband to talk to her this way. And he only cares about his daughter, okay? So she was trying to plan a trip for his birthday, but he said he wanted to spend his birthday with his daughter because it's her first birthday with her dad. And I was like, oh my, you really are doing the most. And then Kenya was like, well, then who's number one? And he was like, Brooklyn is number one. I was like, goddamn, Kenya, I don't know if you realize the man has been going in on you ever since you got here. First of all, he called your refrigerator dorm room, like, which it is. You live right there in Buckhead, and I know exactly where you live. All you had to do was go down the hill to the Publix that's right there on the corner off of, what is that, North Side and Powers Ferry, I think it is. You could have went right there and got some, or called Instacart or somebody to deliver some eggs or something. How she made them pancakes, honey, without eggs. I don't care if it's already pre-made mix. I like to throw a little egg, some milk in there, you know, some butter, you know, and make it really good. I don't know what's going on with Kenya and how she made that meal, but God bless her. But baby, you need to get it together, okay? Kenya also says she don't understand why Mark is the way that he is, because she's so busy trying to be the perfect wife, basically working out, maintaining a home, and running $1 million company. And we all were looking like, ooh, we're looking like that dog, like, say what now? What? You running $1 million company? I guess people are buying their hair product. I noticed that cart that was in Cumberland Mall ain't there anymore. So I don't know where y'all slanging and selling the King and More hair care products, but okay. But it was very cringeworthy to watch. But at the same time, I see now why they possibly are getting a divorce and why they're possibly getting together. Here's the thing. Kenya's personality is not for everyone. It's like grating cheese. I mean, like grating cheese. It's like nails on the chalkboard. And it's not pleasing. It's not pleasant. She's a know-it-all. But now she's being very submissive, which some women probably are thinking she's coming off as weak. You can be submissive, but also have an opinion. I said, damn, girl, next time you going to be walking 5 paces behind him next time we see you, huh? So that happened with them. Oh, shoot. What happened to my... Okay, here we go. Also, another thing with regards to Mark and Kenya, I find it interesting that these two got married, knowing that Mark has 2 well-established businesses going on. Was there a discussion about where you two were going to primarily live? Okay. If you are going to be a family unit, I mean, Kenya, why don't you just go ahead and shoot for the stars and become the first Black woman on the cast of Real Housewives of New York, or a friend of the show or something? Because maybe that's what needs to happen. Maybe you need to give up on Atlanta and move to New York with your husband and maintain your home in Buckhead. Because otherwise it's not working. But then again, you can tell that the way that he wants to take Brooklyn everywhere, clearly he does not want to be intimate or alone with you, nor does he want a nanny to be around, because that means the nanny takes the baby away, which means he has to be alone with you. So either way, it's a lose-lose situation for Mark. Okay. I mean, it's a lose-lose situation for you, Kenya, actually. So anyway, Greg and Nene. Greg is cancer-free. Praise the Lord. I love Mr. Greg. He is a breath of fresh air. He is the wise man. He is the Yoda of this franchise. He's always dropping gems for them. And he looks really good after all the things that he's been through. So Nene now is talking about how she is a spokesperson for the Cancer Society, but then she was also talking about her and Cynthia and how that's messed up. But Greg said something that I think was very important that she needed to hear, and that is, what part did you play in the fallout of the relationship? You need to take ownership of that. And that's part of the problem. Nene is one of those people that truly does not believe she has done anything wrong. She subscribes to the philosophy or the thought that my way or the highway. Either way, if you don't do what I say, it's not going to go your way. It must go my way. Candy and Todd have a surrogate, a baby on the way. Todd told Candy she don't know anything about surrogate etiquette. Now, this is the part right here where I want to get some clarification for you people. There were blogs, albeit low budget blogs, going around bashing Candy, saying that she was trying to kick Todd's daughter out of the house so they could make room for the baby. We know that Candy has 2 homes attached together, 2 properties that she bought. So it's not like she was going to kick Kayla out. They just needed to move Kayla's room so that they could have a place for the baby, because they didn't want the baby in the master suite with them. I really wish that people would stop posting these false and misleading posts about celebrities, because in the end, Todd was telling her that Kayla has decided that she wants to move to New York. She wants to pursue her dreams, and she's going to sell her car and go back to New York. And so, problem solved. They didn't have to worry about coordinating where Kayla's room was going to be. Now, the other subject matter came up, as you know, this past summer. Todd and his daughter were down to the strip club. I believe it was Magic City. I'm not feeling it, but everyone has their own thing that they want to do with their daughter. Some fathers and daughters go to dances and dinners. Some like to go watch dances naked and eating chicken wings. I'm just saying. Marlo and Nene. First of all, that's the other thing about Nene. Nene, if y'all notice, her new tagline for the opening is that she's on the spiritual journey. Help, Lord. I don't know what kind of spiritual journey she on, what God she praying to, but it must be a lesser God. You know how we spell it, capital G-O-D? I think it's lowercase G-O-D for her. But either way, she's in New York. They're all there for Pride. Nene and Marlo meet up. First of all, Marlo was looking like Captain Save-A-Ho, or she getting ready to take off on the Love Boat. Something exciting and new for you. But her outfit made me hot. I was like, it is the dead of summer in New York, and your ass is in this hot ass leather wearing in the summertime looking outfit. Okay. But either way, I was hot looking at it. Nene talking about she increasing her spiritual relationship with God, but yet she turned around in that same breath and did an interview where she was talking about Cynthia being desperate. Okay. And I was like, well, then you might want to leave God out of your conversation then, because right now, Cynthia's right about you. She was also upset because Cynthia had done all these different interviews. She went on a press tour for anti-Nene campaign. That's not what she did. She was being interviewed, and of course, the people want to know, what's up with you and Nene. Nene makes everything about her, and she does. When Kenya showed up to the Seagram's launch, she was like, oh my God, it has to be about you. Now, Cynthia was foul and wrong for not giving Nene the heads up that there is a possibility that Kenya would show up, but either way, it was awful. So it shows to me that while Nene may be on some spiritual journey, it kind of shows me that she hasn't matured spiritually. She's still a baby in Christ, and she's still on that Similac. So we gonna pray for Sister Nene. Okay. Eva was watching this interview, and Eva showed it to Cynthia, but when she said, wait a minute. Oh, but when Cynthia said Nene's wig looked desperate, I was like, don't they always? Although her looks this season so far have been cute. But either way, Cynthia was worried about the hat that she had chosen, the Fascinator. She thought it was too over the top. Honey, let me tell you something. Nothing is ever too over the top at Pride. Okay, because, honey, it is some things I have seen at the WeHo, West Hollywood Pride. I was like, good Lord, okay. And even the Long Beach Pride, because I've attended those too. So now we come up on just for doing. Oh, okay. So next week, motherhood is supposed to be a happy experience for Portia and Kenya, since they both wanted children so much. So that's the focus of this week's, kind of, sort of. But we see Nene wanting to go get with Cynthia on the float, and they stop it right there. Noelle looked cute on the float. Now let's move on to this week's episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. I hope I haven't talked too long. I don't even see what the time is. What is my time? It don't say. Lord Jesus. I can't even see what time, how much time I've gone by. But oh well. Either way, so this episode, this is season 12, episode 4, Love, Marriage, and Sour Patches. The confrontation that we thought was going to happen between Nene and Cynthia. Many people were surprised about Andy Cohen's legs and how built and statuesque they were and defined. I was like, honey, you must not know too much about the gay community, because what I do know about, all of my gay friends love to go to the gym and work out so they can have their best body ever. So, I mean, most of them anyway. Like, some of them, I'm just really disappointed that they are not into women, because I'm like, damn, you fine. Woo! You be fine and don't want a woman. You don't want me? Okay. No, but either way, and of course, Nene got to get up there and brag about how the gays love her. But all I saw on Twitter is a bunch of people saying how anti-homophobic some of these women are. And I'm just like, oh my God. Some of it's a little bit sensitivity overkill, but you know what? Hey, I to each their own, whatever. When Marlo showed up on the floor, Eva said, here come Nene's lap dog. I died. Meanwhile, back in Atlanta, Portia meets up with Dr. Sherry, and this time we get to see an inside of the why is my friend texting me? And we get to see the inside of the therapy session. And I like how Dr. Sherry asked Portia, did Dennis earn her trust or did she give it to him? And let's be real, she did. All last season. And Dr. Sherry also told her it was fast-paced, and Portia took ownership of that. And I was very proud of Portia for taking ownership of that. But fools rush in. And no, if Portia is truly honest with it, no, Dennis did not earn her trust. She gave it to him despite all the red flags everyone was telling him. He got tattoos of every woman he's ever probably slept with on his body and then some. And yet you still got with this man, and because you wanted a baby and a husband and a family so fast. And now these are the consequences and the fallout from you making choices despite people trying to tell you and coach you on what it is that you needed to do. You didn't want to listen. So now this is your bed. You have to lay in it. Kenya meets up with Candy, and she's telling Candy about how Brooklyn is now she's really strong and pulling earrings out of people's ears, and how she says she's going to have her daughter start doing it to people and things like that. I'm like, see, this is the shit I was worried about, you having a child and the child end up acting out like you. Don't nobody, no, thank God Mark is around, because don't nobody want no diabolical, dysfunctional child around you. Around them. Kenya also said something else that made all of us on Twitter laugh last night when she said that my relationship with Mark, it's new. It's like Candy and Todd's relationship is new. First of all, Candy and Todd have been married 5 years. Okay. Your relationship is nothing like Candy's and Todd's. They have a lot in common. They do a lot of things together. And Todd and Candy actually like having sex with each other and being intimate. And they don't mind, passing the child off to the grandparents and nannies. Okay. Number one. So, child, please, your shit is dysfunctional as hell. Candy said, well, all I know is that I've never seen Kenya like this. She's awfully submissive in this relationship. And I'm like, ooh, and it's almost cringeworthy, okay? Cynthia and Eva in New York, they go to some high-end Asian fusion restaurant, honey. And Cynthia once again failed to tell sworn enemies that one is showing up. Marlo has invited Cynthia to dinner at this place, and Eva's like, Marlo's coming. And I'm like, Eva don't want to be around Marlo, because Marlo is the one who spread the rumors that may or may not be true about Eva and Michael's financial situation, saying that they're broke. Okay. And Marlo also has said some other things for some reason, and she mentioned it here. Marlo has a real big issue for some reason with Eva not wanting to address the fact that she had been quote unquote bisexual. As I said last time we were on here together, let's be real, with women in particular, especially in college. Some of us, not me, it was not me, because I love my football players. Some of us as females experiment with our sexuality. We were bi-curious during that particular time. So it's not unusual that Eva in her early 20s would possibly sleep with a woman or two. And then I wonder if Marlo wants to get with Eva at this point, because it seems she has something that she wants to get from Miss Eva, the diva, honey. So anyway, I just don't get what Marlo's hang-up is with Eva. And I don't understand why she's so concerned about Eva's financial situation. Here's the thing. When people want to talk about people's financial situation, what you need to do and how you need to move and do this, then you need to help me with my situation, okay? It's just classless, and I'm really disappointed in Marlo's behavior and hateration towards Eva. Who behaves that way? Marlo walked up in the restaurant, honey, baby. If she didn't look like one of them ceramic clowns my Aunt Bobby used to keep in her curio in her formal living room, oh my God. I was like, what the hell? And then was sitting down and fucking, the wig ain't still glued on. If you don't get you some got to be glue, Marlo, what is wrong with you, girl? Where you going? What you doing? What's really going on? But I love how when Marlo showed up, Eva packed up, because Bravo is shady. They showed how much food Eva ordered. I think since Marlo was buying, Eva just ordered the whole damn menu. And then Eva was like, oh, girl, can I get this to go? She told the waitress, can I get this to go? Or asked the waitress, could she get it to go? She has her stuff packed up. And then Marlo, I want some duck. And she was like, leave her a piece of that duck, and booked and went down to the bar and ate the rest of her meal by herself, honey. I don't blame her. If I don't like you and I don't want to be around you, I move the fuck around. You hear me? But I'm still laughing. I was laughing at that the rest of the night. Meanwhile, Portia's on struggle mode, you know, as a single mom and all on struggle. I'm like, girl, where is your nanny? Where is your help? And so anyway, her car is running late, so she ended up having to take an Uber from Duluth to downtown. She done left bottles, honey. Her and little baby PJ, honey, they just don't struggle. Miss Diane out there looking fabulous, fly, and fierce as always. She the sexy grandma. I think she should be Mima and not grandma. But either way, Portia somehow successfully made it to work. I'm going to wrap her story up line right here. Basically, she discovers that going back to work was the best thing she could have done. And now she's now full-time mommy working. Okay, amen. Praise the Lord. We told you, your mama and sister told you to get up, get out, and go back to work or go do something outside the home. It'll help you mentally. Meanwhile, back in New York, Marlo and Nene meet up. I have come to the conclusion that Marlo, in her heyday back in the day, she probably wanted to be a solid gold dancer. What in the Las Vegas showgirl was she wearing when she showed up? I get Marlo is fashion or whatever, but girl, oh Lord, I get tired looking at it sometimes. Marlo and Nene get into a heated discussion about her relationship with Cynthia, and Marlo basically said she was trying to be a bridge over troubled waters and helping mend the fences with Nene. It's very obvious from Nene's confessional that Nene is that friend that wants to be Cynthia's friend again, but because she doesn't know how to be a friend, she doesn't know how to be humble. She knows she's fucked up the relationship and wants it back, but can't get it back because she don't know how. She don't have the wherewithal. She basically told Marlo, mind your business. And when Marlo was telling her she needed to take ownership, Nene got up as always when somebody telling her right, packed up her shit and left. And exit stage left in one of them little carriage things they have in the park. I said, you know what, I can't. But I'm like Marlo. Marlo had a word for her. She said, baby, you need to get your feelings and get into your bag. Amen. Okay. And then I also made an observation. I said, let's not forget for the longest that Nene was always running around talking about how she was cashing Donald Trump checks. And let's be real, birds of a feather flock together. And since that was one of your best friends, that's why she don't want to admit anything is wrong. When has Angry Wig ever said that he has done anything wrong? Come on, birds of a feather flock together. They all flock together, okay? Candy learns that the surrogate, once she has the baby, they exit stage right, and then it's just you, baby dad, and Ace and Riley, I guess, and maybe Mama Joyce. But Candy was like, it's so final. I was like, well, you can still be friends with the surrogate. I make friends wherever I go. It may seem odd that this woman carried the baby. I mean, but ain't nothing wrong with still being friends, you know. And then I was looking at the office. I said, that must be Dr. Jackie's Dunwoody office. Every time I try to get an appointment at Dr. Jackie's Dunwoody office, I can't. And Dunwoody is so much closer than Duluth to where I live. I'm like, speaking of which, I need to make my appointment now so I can go ahead and get in there in January and get in and out. I know a lot of people are mad at Dr. Jackie. I'm going to go back and look, see what my soror said that fucked up everybody. I know she said something about Buffy's infertility publicly. Sorry, that ain't cool. You're a medical doctor. You know better. So now, as they were leaving Dr. Jackie's office, Candy done got a 911 text from that Kenya, honey. She want to talk. Come to find out in this conversation, Kenya went on her anniversary trip to Turks and Caicos without Mark and got to take baby Brooklyn, which I thought was surprising considering that Mark is so protective of baby Brooklyn. And I was like, honey, that's not an anniversary trip. That's just a trip, honey. People on Twitter were saying that they feel sorry for Kenya. And I was like, honestly, I don't feel sorry for her at all. For a long time, Kenya has sowed nothing but seeds of darkness, shade, and deceit. And so as a man sows, so shall a man reap. And that's what has happened. Kenya's chickens have come home to roost. All the things that she said that she wanted, she got. But one of the things I always tell people about, oh, I want a husband, oh, I want a kid, I want this. You need to be as specific as possible about what it is that you want. You need to write it down. You need to stick it on a sticky note. You need to write in a notebook, something, because otherwise you'll get what you asked for, but it may not be what you thought you wanted. You got to do more than think it. You got to put it out there and be specific. Okay. I think that's what happened. And honestly, I don't think that Mark is sexually attracted to you or attracted to you, period. I think that he discovered that you are ugly on the inside, and he just doesn't want to deal with it. And I'm sorry, if I'm married and my husband don't want to be intimate with me, we got a problem. Okay. Then she said, he's a fighter. He don't like to compromise. And I get it. It might be verbal jousting. But then at one point I was wondering if Kenya was trying to imply that maybe Mark had put his hands on her or something, which I doubt it. But either way, next week, y'all, Ivana, I'm that bitch from CAU, makes an appearance next week. And she's talking mad shit and some other stuff going on, child. I don't even know. But that is it for my discussion of Real Housewives of Atlanta. We now are going to get into Ready to Love. Briefly. Yeah, Carrie got sent home, y'all. It was very sad. I hated to see the old man go, but he had to go. Here's the thing about Carrie, though. I think he was one of the ones that was actually ready to love. I don't see it for London anymore, aka Baby Suge Knight. London, first of all, he is part. He's a cutie, but I mean, I don't think he's ready to love. Maybe he thought going on this show he would be ready to love, but I think he might do better just swiping on a damn app. That might be best for him. Ashima, my girl Ashima Franklin, her and Darren, I thought were gonna make it. I don't think they're gonna make it because the dogs are a deal breaker. It would seem. I just, like I said before, and we had an extensive discussion on Twitter about this. If the person does not like dogs and you love your dog the way you love your dog, like I love my baby. Everybody knows that. And I've always been a dog lover. My family, my father's side of the family, we are dog lovers. If you don't like my dog, we can't be together. And I'm sorry. If you don't want to have anything to do with my fur baby, we can't be together. We just not going to make it. You mistreat my dog, it's like mistreating me, in my opinion. So when Ashima got there, first of all, one of my Twitter friends posted this GIF with the caption. It was a Labrador dog, and it's where the black dog is sitting there. He's like sitting there like this, like, and he looks, and the camera comes up on him, and he looks confused as hell. They were like, first of all, the dogs were trying to figure out what the hell it is Ashima had on. I retweeted it, and Ashima responded and said, girl, even I was wondering when I was watching what the hell I had on. What was I thinking? I was like, girl, you probably was prepared to meet them dogs. But I said, we all have an off-fashioned day, okay? So anyway, I thought Darren's fur babies are so cute. They have the shiny black coats. I love it, but Ashima wasn't feeling it. But I do feel like this, Darren. Honestly, when someone tells you they don't like dogs, but you want them to come over to your home, I think it's important for you to respect that. I've put my dog up. It's painful, but I will put her up because some people don't like dogs. And that's just the bottom line. But either way, Ashima and the ex, because this was the episode where they all met up with the exes for the people that they're really interested in. And the ex was looking confused and perplexed by Ashima's behavior, as was most of us. But when it came out that Darren and his ex may become business partners, Ashima wasn't feeling that either. And I can respect that as a woman. I can honestly understand that. It might be platonic. We don't know. But either way, y'all used to sleep together. So I'm just saying. Carrie and his ex meet up. Miss Tina, I think was her name. I think they need to go ahead and get back together. Somebody said Carrie needs to go ahead and slide Miss Tina a text message. Because she had Carrie and Alexis kiss on demand. Now, Alexis is, first of all, spoiled. I can tell you that. She is an only child. She's a bit much sometimes. I'm like, girl, I know you want what you want, boo. You're a little bit too strong. That Taurus is a little bit too strong. The force is strong in this one. But it's just something about Alexis. Carrie said he was open to having children this episode, but last episode he said that he was willing to have more children. So there is a disparity in it, but it's not that much of disparity. I think that his whole thing is, if it will make my wife happy, I will, we can go about procreating. Is the bottom line. But when Miss Tina had them kiss on demand, it was awkward. He was having a good time and he thought it was going great, but Alexis was like, I didn't feel any sparks. I'm like, because you're not looking at Carrie as a romantic interest. You're looking at Carrie as someone who's stable and checks off all the boxes of your other list. Because a lot of women, romance is not it. Let me tell you something. Some of my white homegirls, I can look at their husbands and tell they didn't marry for looks. They married for financial security, because I'm just like, ooh, girl. That's your husband. Girl, clearly it was not for looks. It was for money. Okay. And security and protection. But during this whole episode, all I could think was some of the people need to go back to their exes. They just do. I guess next week the women might meet their exes. After Tandy had met with Mario's ex, because when I started the episode, I kid y'all not, and Mario, please don't be mad at me, but your ex, I thought was your mama until I got clarification, because I came in 6 minutes late. But baby, the Case Place LA, y'all need to follow this Twitter page. I love this girl. She had me dying. She talking about, damn. She looked like she got all these cracks and everything, honey. She needs to make a trip to Earl Shab. I said, God damn. But she looked old. But needless to say, it seems as though Mario potentially might have some issues, such as being controlling. But someone else also came up with something else about men like Mario. If a man tells you there's certain things that he don't like, that he would like to see you in, if he doesn't like blue nail polish, unless you a Zeta or Sigma Gamma Rho, I mean, maybe you can wear pink and green or purple or something. I don't know, whatever his favorite color is. I don't think that's too controlling, but if there are other nuances that are going on, yeah, maybe that's controlling. But I mean, just don't wear blue polish when he around, or if y'all got a special event, I don't know. But Tandy don't like to be controlled and confined, okay? That's that Detroit coming out. Then Tandy and Darren end up going out. London and his ex meet with Alexis. Osley was in that ass, honey, and it was like two horns coming together with these two females. But London was basically telling Alexis that, he's down till the end, but he's not going to be forced to make a decision he doesn't want to make. There's just certain things that, he's just not ready for. But the truth of the matter is, London isn't ready to love. I think Baby Suge Knight probably be sent home next week, because Divine was kind of holding him up, if you really think about it. Brent and Divine. Divine has moved on from Baby Suge Knight, London, and Brent has been the least talkative, the most mysterious throughout this whole journey. But look who got him to talk. Miss Vitamin D herself, Divine, okay? Amazing. So he had been married before. It was the worst 4 years of, what did he say, worst 6 years of his? No, 4 years of his life. Divine, turns out she had been previously married to a man she had known less than a month, and they just weren't compatible, and it was 6 miserable years. So maybe Divine and Brent, maybe Brent can hang on, baby. Divine gonna have to carry him through to the threshold. Reva, baby, Miss Reva, you finally got it together, because them lace fronts you've been wearing, honey, been having you look like somebody's grandma. And I know you a grandma, but you really look like a grandma. This confessional look with the short hair was everything, and I was so here for it. The best look you've had all season. Let's see, who else? During the conversations about who was meeting who, Reva learns that Tondi met Darren's ex, and Tondi felt some type of way. She said, well, I feel like since he's interested in me, he should have let me be introduced to his ex. I'm like, first of all, Tondi has been Mario's day one since day one. So I don't know what you were expecting, number one. Number two, he told you you weren't open, and he kind of pushed back from you last week. You still withholding. Plus, your friends didn't help your situation, honey. They said you like to skate. Is in any red flag or suspected red flag, you run it. Even if it's a yellow one or a green. Girl, it don't matter. You running flag on the play, okay? But when Tondi was talking about how her and Darren had met up, that shit was hilarious. Ashima had this look on her face like, bitch, I will stab your ass. Okay, I got your number, hussy. I got your number. I will stab you. Okay. So, Ashima did let Darren know how she was feeling. Also, y'all, when you are in a relationship or getting ready to pursue a relationship, I think it's very important for you to talk about, what it is that you want. Okay. And, Ashima just let it be known that we're going to have to work it out. And Darren was like, well, we got 2 different homes, so I can just come over here. And basically that's what's going to happen. He's going to either have to hire a dog setter to watch the babies if he's going to do a long weekend with her, or maybe they just not going to work, because I'm sorry, when it comes to my dog or dogs, this is their priority. I mean, and who could say no to these little faces? They're just so cute. Come here, Pumpkin. Come here, Mama. Back that thing up. Come here. I mean, who could ever say no to these babies? Yes, look at Miss Pumpkin. Is she not cute? It's your mama stinker. Okay, she got a yawn in front of y'all. But sometimes she just do teen too much. It's okay, mama. Anyway, next week it's gonna be lit with this couple's getaway or the game getaway. But that's all I've got for Ready to Love. There was something somebody had brought up to me. Oh, I thought I had addressed this in a previous video. I know I addressed it in a tweet, but one of my Twitter friends, fans, apparently, I didn't know I was being watched like that. So you never know who watching you, honey. Maybe cousin Oprah will be watching one day and put a sister on. But someone asked me my opinion on the Monique and Candace Dillard fisticuffs that occurred during the filming of Real Housewives of Potomac. Here's the thing. It was just a matter of time before Candace and Monique clashed. Okay. Like I said, sometimes it ain't, hey, if you from the country club, you can't fight, you might want to close your mouth. Okay, number one. But number two, if you are from the hood, you should know that the country club will call 911. Now, I can assure you that if anyone tried to put their hands on me, guess who calling 911? Because number one, for me in particular, although I still am not a licensed attorney, once I do take and pass the bar exam, which I will do that in my lifetime, I do not want to have to go before the bar and explain that I had to defend myself and we both ended up getting arrested, because they still gonna find something. So I don't need to get in there. I don't want to have to pay for an attorney to go argue for me before the bar. Okay, I just don't. So I've had that happen before. Heifer called me, told me she was gonna come on there and whip my ass about her man who ain't her man. And I said, and when you do, the sheriffs will be waiting on your ass. Okay. So I don't play that shit. So that's why you catch charges when you mess with folk from the country club. And country club need to stop talking shit, because that's how your ass get lit up. Okay. But either way, that's all I got. I've been Miss Sophia the Diva. I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving in case I do not get back on here again. I hope everyone is watching Ambitions on OWN. That's a really great show. Thank you all who are watching on YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope. I appreciate you. God bless you. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your Thanksgiving with your friends and family, or, you know, just enjoy it solo. I've done that. I remember, I spent Christmas by myself. It was the best Christmas ever, honey. I was just watching all my videos. I cooked up a good meal, and I was just having a good time. But either way, that's all I've got. As always, my word of encouragement to you is to chin up, Buttercup. The sun will come out, I promise you. But until then, stay fabulous.